New York City is a place that always seems to be moving. Its streets pulse with traffic, voices, footsteps, and the energy of millions of lives unfolding at once. But what happens when we follow one of those streets beyond the skyscrapers? How quickly can crowded avenues become quiet country roads? Today, we're beginning in the heart of Manhattan and traveling north toward the Hudson Valley, leaving behind concrete, traffic, and towering buildings for riverside communities, wooded hills, historic towns, and open countryside. Settle in, take a breath, and join WANDERLANE travel as New York slowly transforms before our eyes. Morning arrives differently in New York. It doesn't begin with silence. It begins with a city preparing to move. Delivery trucks wait beside restaurants, cafe doors open, metal shutters rise above neighborhood stores, and the first commuters emerge from subway entrances, carrying coffee and looking toward the day ahead. A yellow taxi moves into the lane in front of us. A cyclist passes on the right, while pedestrians gather at the next crosswalk. At street level, Manhattan feels enormous, but also surprisingly personal. Behind each apartment window, someone is waking up. Every storefront belongs to somebody's routine. Every intersection connects thousands of individual journeys. Most people around us are traveling toward work, school, appointments, or responsibilities. Our journey has a different purpose. We aren't trying to reach the Hudson Valley as quickly as possible. We want to experience the transition, to watch the city loosen its grip, one neighborhood at a time. The light turns green, and Manhattan carries us north. As we move toward Manhattan's west side, the Hudson River begins appearing between the buildings. At first, we see only brief flashes of water, silver-blue reflections framed by brick, concrete, and glass. Then, the view opens. The river has always been one of New York's great pathways. Long before highways and skyscrapers, it carried people, goods, and ideas between the harbor and the communities further north. Today, it will become our guide. Across the water, the New Jersey shoreline catches the morning sun. Beside us, runners and cyclists follow the riverside path, finding their own moment of escape without ever leaving Manhattan. The city remains close and energetic, but the presence of the river changes the atmosphere. There is suddenly distance in the view, and where there is distance, there is the promise of somewhere beyond. The road begins to feel different as we continue north. Tall buildings still rise nearby, but they no longer surround us from every direction. Trees appear more frequently, growing between the roadway and the neighborhoods beyond. Natural rock formations rise beside the pavement, a reminder that beneath all of New York's steel, asphalt, and concrete lies a much older landscape. Traffic still moves steadily, but the constant stop-and-go rhythm of Manhattan streets is fading. Instead of watching traffic lights, we begin following the curves of the road. That may seem like a small change, but it transforms the feeling of the drive. We are no longer moving one block at a time. The road is beginning to carry us somewhere. Behind us, Midtown's towers become smaller. Ahead, the northern edge of Manhattan draws closer. Northern Manhattan reveals another side of the city. The land rises above the river, creating streets with unexpected views across the water and toward the wooded cliffs beyond. Apartment buildings, local restaurants, parks, and neighborhood stores line the route, but the scale feels more relaxed than the streets we left behind. This is still unmistakably New York. You can feel it in the architecture, the people, and the constant mixture of old and new. Yet nature is becoming more visible. Trees soften the edges of the buildings, stone walls follow the landscape, and the Hudson appears again below us. New York is often imagined as an endless wall of skyscrapers, but the city has edges, and we are approaching one of them. Soon, Manhattan will be behind us. There is no dramatic announcement when we leave the heart of the city. No single line separates urban New York from everything beyond it. Instead, the transformation happens gradually. Buildings become lower and farther apart. Traffic lanes feel less confined. Patches of woodland grow into continuous walls of trees. The sounds change as well. The sharp rhythm of horns, buses, and construction gives way to the steady hum of tires against the road. For the first time since our journey began, no skyscraper dominates the horizon.
It is remarkable how quickly the city can begin to feel distant. Only a short time ago, we were surrounded by taxis and crowded crosswalks. Now, autumn leaves move above the roadway, and sunlight flickers through the branches. New York City hasn't disappeared, but it has released us.
The Hudson remains nearby as the road turns north. Sometimes the river is hidden behind trees. Then, without warning, it appears again, wide, calm, and reflecting the sky. Unlike the straight avenues of Manhattan, this road follows the shape of the land. It curves around hills, passes beneath old stone bridges, and rises above wooded valleys. Driving here requires a different kind of attention. In the city, we watched traffic signals, crosswalks, and vehicles entering from every direction. Here, we noticed the next curve, the changing elevation, and the sunlight moving across the pavement. Autumn adds another layer to the scenery. Green leaves are beginning to turn yellow, orange, and deep red. The season has not completely changed, making every hillside a mixture of summer and fall. A turn away from the parkway brings us into one of the river towns that line the Hudson. These communities feel connected to New York City, yet they possess identities entirely their own. Historic brick buildings stand beside cafes, bookstores, galleries, and neighborhood restaurants. People walk beneath mature trees, and the river is never far away. For generations, the Hudson connected these towns to Manhattan. Boats carried passengers and cargo along the water. Later, railways and roads followed the same north-south path. Today, the relationship continues. Some residents commute toward the city. Others come here specifically to escape it. As we travel along the main street, life feels visible and approachable.
The town is active, but it does not seem rushed.
We pause at a small overlook beside the river. With the engine quiet, details that disappeared beneath the movement of the road begin to emerge. Water touches the shoreline. Leaves move in the breeze. A boat travels slowly north, leaving a thin white trail behind it. The Hudson appears peaceful from here, but its scale is impressive. This river begins far to the north and travels for hundreds of miles before reaching New York Harbor and the Atlantic Ocean. It connects wilderness, farmland, historic communities, industrial cities, and one of the world's largest urban centers. Our journey follows only a small part of its course. Still, standing beside it makes the transition from Manhattan feel real. The city is somewhere downstream now. Ahead, the valley grows wider, and the countryside draws closer. We return to the road and continue north. The river town slowly recedes behind us. Storefronts give way to houses, and the houses begin standing farther apart. Stone walls run beside the roadway, some straight and carefully maintained, others sinking into the forest beneath moss and fallen leaves. These walls suggest older boundaries, farms, properties, and lives shaped long before this became a scenic drive. The road narrows to 2 lanes. A few vehicles pass in the opposite direction, but for long stretches we have the view almost entirely to ourselves. This is the middle of the transformation. We are no longer in the city, yet the deepest countryside still lies ahead. Rather than an abrupt change, the Hudson Valley reveals itself gradually, rewarding every additional mile. Then the trees open and the landscape expands. Fields stretch across the valley toward distant hills. Rows of fruit trees create precise lines across an orchard. while a red barn stands beside a weathered fence. After Manhattan's narrow streets, this amount of open space feels almost impossible. In the city, our attention was constantly divided. Signs, signals, pedestrians, buildings, and traffic competing for every glance.
Here, the landscape asks almost nothing from us. We can follow one fence toward the horizon. We can watch clouds move slowly above the hills. We can simply notice how much sky has returned to the journey.
This is the moment we have truly reached the countryside. And although New York City is less than a world away, it feels as if we have entered an entirely different New York. The Hudson Valley's fertile land has supported farms and orchards for generations. Rows of apple trees follow the hillsides, pumpkins gather in bright orange groups beside a small farm stand, and handwritten signs invite travelers to stop for local produce. This countryside isn't empty or untouched. It is a working landscape. Its appearance changes with planting, growing, harvesting, and winter rest. The beautiful patterns we see from the road are also the result of careful work and constant attention. A tractor moves slowly across a distant field. Nearby, families wander between the orchard rows, turning an ordinary afternoon into a seasonal tradition. Travel teaches us that scenery is rarely just scenery. The places we admire from a distance are also homes, workplaces, and communities. Farther north, the country road leads into a historic village. A white church steeple rises above the trees. Brick and stone buildings gather around a compact main street, while a small park occupies the center of town. The village feels peaceful, but not frozen in time. People carry groceries, meet outside a bakery, and sit at tables near the sidewalk. Old buildings have become new businesses without losing the character that makes them distinctive. Places like this remind us that history does not always live behind museum walls. Sometimes it remains part of everyday life, in the shape of a street, the materials of a building, or a gathering place used by one generation after another. We reduce our speed, allowing the village to pass slowly around us. Beyond the village, the road begins to climb. The farms fall behind us as forest closes around the pavement. Maples, oaks, and evergreens cover the hillsides. Their colors deepen in the afternoon light, transforming every curve into a new composition. We slow down and let the road determine the pace. This is not a place to rush. Through a break in the trees, the Hudson Valley appears below us, a patchwork of fields, forests, rooftops, and distant water. Then the view closes, and we are surrounded by woodland again. Scenic drives are often remembered for their grand viewpoints, but the quieter moments matter too. Sunlight on the road, fallen leaves moving in our wake, and the anticipation of what might wait beyond the next bend. At the top of the climb, we reach an overlook. The Hudson Valley spreads across the horizon beneath us. The river catches the sun in the distance. Farms form irregular shapes between the forests, and small communities appear as clusters of rooftops among the trees. Somewhere beyond the southern horizon lies Manhattan. From here, it is difficult to imagine the crowded avenues where our journey began. Yet the city and this countryside are connected by the same river, the same roads, and the countless people who have traveled between them. We switch off the engine and allow the landscape to become completely still. For a moment, there is no destination, no traffic, and no reason to check the time. There is only the valley and the fading light. The sun begins its descent as we return to the road. Fields that appeared green earlier are now washed in gold. Shadows stretch across the pavement, and the leaves seem to glow from within. Farmhouse lights begin appearing behind the trees. A few birds cross the sky, heading toward their evening resting places. There is a calmness to this hour that no city can completely reproduce. Morning in Manhattan was filled with beginnings, doors opening, traffic building, and people moving toward the day ahead. Evening in the Hudson Valley feels like a gentle release. The landscape does not stop all at once. It simply softens, one color and one sound at a time. We began beneath Manhattan's towers, surrounded by taxis, traffic lights, and crowded sidewalks. We followed the Hudson north as buildings gave way to trees, parkways became country roads, and the city's energy faded into the quiet rhythm of the valley.
The journey reminds us that escape does not always require traveling across the world. Sometimes, an entirely different experience is waiting just beyond the familiar streets. All we need is time, an open road, and the willingness to take the scenic route. Thank you for traveling from New York City to the Hudson Valley with WANDERLANE Travel. If this virtual drive gave you a moment of peace, subscribe and join us for the next journey. Until then, travel slowly, stay curious, and enjoy every mile.